Hi guys, this is Carolina Varsity. We are in the 2015 season at the regional finals week, and we're going to take a look at the 4AA Western Region final between Mallard Creek and East Forsyth. Mallard Creek going over to play East Forsyth. I'm Dale Ross.
And I'm Matt Mallard, the Pet Man. Let's take a look at the matchup here. We're going to do it a little different this week. I'm going to give you some players to watch on both sides of the ball. So if you're going to the game
Yeah.
and you want to sound knowledgeable to all your buddies that don't watch this video, tell them to watch these guys.
There you go.
Number 5, Thad Moss from Mallard Creek, tight end, deep defensive end, elite player. He's got offers from all over the place.
Right.
He can run down the seam and catch the ball. He's got great hands. Defensively, he's got great moves off the ball. I tell you, I saw him against Butler a couple weeks ago, and he was just in the backfield almost as much as he wanted to be. Heck of a player.
I ID him as a tight end with somewhat close to wide receiver speed, moves, leaping ability, very, very strong athlete. Exactly.
Oh yeah. And if you didn't know, he is the son of Randy Moss.
Exactly. Might be better than his dad.
Quarterback number 7, James Smith. This is his third year being the starter. He kind of took over as a sophomore in the middle of the season, and he's taken off from there. Won 2 state titles back to back as the quarterback of the Mavericks. Dual threat guy. He runs it probably about as well as he throws it. I tell you, he's really bulked up this year. He's really strong. Remember, early in the season, they played Independence. He ran that kid over, and that was a big highlight. I think he even made it. Did it make the ESPN?
Well, in that game, he also had I think the highlight that really got most people's attention was his speed, move, cut highlight that he had.
Yeah.
Because he's got that. He's got great vision and phenomenal moves. He's a heck of an athlete. He's an athlete turned quarterback is what he is.
Right. So if he's on throwing the ball, it makes the Mallard Creek offense very tough to stop.
Yeah.
Josh Brown, you mentioned him earlier as a player of the week in our Players of the Week video. I believe he's committed to Florida State.
That's right.
I tell you, exceptional athlete. When they put him down on the defensive end position, he can come off the edge and really cause havoc. He can play linebacker and play in space as well. He's just a very dynamic defensive player.
Yeah. Heck of an athlete to be the size that he is. I think his athletic ability, it really shined Friday night, and I've got a nice picture of him flying, as I mentioned. But great speed, great, a hard hitter, just a tremendously hard hitter.
And then Ryan Jones for Mallard Creek. He's playing some receiver, plays some corner. They made that switch in the middle of the season. This kid is a pure athlete. He's a great receiver. He transferred in the middle, early in the season,
Right.
from Ardrey High School, and he's really been an asset for Mallard Creek on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And number 23.
Exactly. He can play both sides. Very, very strong. Yeah. Very good ball player.
Exactly. So let's take a look at East Forsyth. East Forsyth's got some really good talent in their own right. Number 1, Christian Beal, running back, has 1,635 rushing yards on the season, 22 rushing touchdowns. Seeing this guy on film, speed. I tell you, you let him get into space and he's gone. It's amazing. And he can catch the ball out the backfield too, and which makes it even tougher to try to defend this guy.
And we've had him, I think, 2 or 3 times he's been a player of the game.
Yeah.
And here at Carolina Varsity this year. Phenomenal player.
And he's committed to Wake Forest.
Yeah, so he's one of the guys you Mallard Creek people would want to watch.
No doubt. When you see him lined up, you want to see where he's going. Number 2, receiver Knight Martin. 76 catches on the year, 1,065 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Obviously, when he's split out in this game, I would expect Jones probably to be on him most of the time if he's out wide. One of the things East Forsyth is doing, and I think they started doing it late in the season and it's carried into the playoffs, they put him in motion, jet motion, and he's getting the ball on these jet sweeps. And when he turns the corner, man, I tell you,
He's got speed.
Yeah, he's got speed and he's got moves.
Right.
And he's tough, man. He's real dynamic.
Athletic, very, very athletic.
Yeah. And he's a senior. Beal's a junior. I didn't mention that, but Martin is a senior. Number 21, Madison Cone, cornerback. He's got 41 tackles, 7 interceptions, 9 passes defended. A Division I level corner with great ball skills and quickness. He's a shutdown corner. Mallard Creek has, and that's the tough thing about Mallard Creek. They've got dual threats at the receiver position. So who is Cone going to be matched up against? It's going to be real interesting, and the chess match against that it's going to be really something to watch here between these coordinators.
Yeah, and the fact that they have threats on the outside, but you've also got Moss a threat, a down threat. He's a downfield threat as well from the tight end. So it's going to be. These guys are going to have, obviously your corners are going to be having to shut down those wide guys, but maybe one of the better guys might have to be guarding Moss as well. It's going to be interesting.
It's funny you mentioned Moss because I think this guy's going to be involved in that. Number 6, Krishan Springs. His linebacker, 127 tackles and 6 sacks on the season. Been mentioned on the forums and breaking down the game. I saw the same thing on film. East Forsyth safeties are not that big.
Right.
So you put Moss in the slot or even down at the tight end position, you got to have a linebacker running with him, or in that zone, you got to have somebody with eyes on him that can match up size-wise, physicality-wise, athletic-wise, This Springs kid could be the guy to do it. He's a leading tackler on the team, and he's a really good-looking kid I've seen on film.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't seen enough of Mallard Creek this year to know, but you could even put Moss at a wing back as well, and he could come off at that position. So, yeah, somebody on that team is going to have to be able to hang with him. And I saw those comments about the safeties being small, and Moss is not any small kid. That's a big boy.
Not at all.
That's a man.
So let's take a look on the field schematically, the keys in the game here. Mallard Creek's run game. If they can pound the ball and control the pace of the game and time of possession, they can play from in front. And that puts them at a huge advantage with what Coach Palmieri likes to do. He likes to can run the football, take chances if they present themselves. And if they're playing from in front, it's going to be hard for East Forsyth to overcome that kind of pace that Mallard Creek likes to play with. They got into that game last week against Huff. They got up, the defense kept shutting Huff down, and they just grounded it out and just warmed down.
Yeah, so that playing from in front is going to have also a lot to do with the intensity that they may bring. If they bring anywhere near the intensity that they did last week, it's going to be a very, very tough ball game for East Forsyth to stay in. That's going to be a big key thing is what happens with Mallard Creek. How much does their intensity drop? Does it drop? How much does it drop? When you have a super high like that, you could have a super low, but I would not expect that out of this team because they certainly look like a team with a mission.
Right.
And if they can get into smash mouth football, that is right down the alley of where Palmieri would love to have them be.
Exactly. For East Forsyth, you got to look at their play action passing game. They've got to be able to hit some big plays to their skill guys off of play action down the field. East Forsyth, looking at them, they are more of a run-first team, but they do have ability to throw the ball. Their quarterback, Smith, 27 touchdowns on the year, only 7 interceptions. He's going to have to play really big. Mallard Creek's been vulnerable to the big pass play all season long. And their East has got to get a couple of those big plays to get the victory because you're not going to be able to drive on Mallard Creek, constantly. The only team that put up a good number of points was Butler, and they got those points based off of turnovers, good field position, and taking advantage of it. It wasn't a thing where Butler was just driving, and picking up touchdowns and points like that.
Well, Huff did in the first game that they played them. They got up at 30 in the 30s. So, but it's not a, the big thing. I think the big thing for East is going to be they're going to need to be diversified in how they attack. Right. If you get dimensional like Huff did Friday night, Mallard Creek's going to shut you down. So you've got to be diversified, and You're going to have to be, you can't be very predictable as well. That's the other thing is, of course, not being very predictable because you're going to make it a lot. There's good coaches at Mallard Creek, and you're going to make it a lot easier on them, and you're going to let the players on the field become coaches themselves if you become too predictable. So I think being diverse is going to be key. That's what really hurt Huff. Is no diversity in their offense.
Right.
Mallard Creek really being able to focus in. And boy, if you let that front seven start coming at you.
Well, I see it this way. We remember from East Forsyth a couple years ago, they came down to play Butler at Memorial Stadium. And people were thinking Butler was going to win that one, pretty much going away. East Forsyth stayed in that game by playing really good defense and by, playing some possession football, winning the time of possession. Their defense has got to step up in this game if they're going to win. I don't think it's going to. If it's a high-scoring game, I think it favors Mallard Creek. I just can't see, the Mallard Creek defense giving up that many points.
Right.
In this situation.
The thing about that Butler game that you mentioned is that East Forsyth was very physical as well. That was one of the more physical teams around, and when you flip and you look at Mallard Creek, you're really going to need some of that physicality because of the size of that line on both sides of the ball. You really don't, with that, all those guys can run, and you don't want to let Mallard Creek get into get out there 2 scores or so, and then if you start trying to pick that pace up, no, a high-scoring game I think is not in East Forsyth's interest. Yeah. I believe their shots are better if Mallard Creek's in that 21-point range. Then you're going to see an opportunity that East Forsyth's pulling the upset. Now, I say an upset. I realize Mallard Creek's number 6 seed and number 1, but and East Forsyth's undefeated, but I think consider it an upset if East Forsyth.
And I think most people would, just based off of the talent Mallard Creek has, the preseason national ranking, and all those things. But it's going to be a really fun ball game to watch. It'll be the environment should be really, really good. Yeah. I think Mallard Creek will bring a very good crowd. From what we hear, there's not a lot around the stadium, so find something to eat on the way.
And I'm told parking is difficult and far and all that other kind of stuff as well. So,
but you guys going up there, enjoy it. Let us know. Obviously, you guys do a great job letting us know your observations on the site. The big thank you goes out to all of you guys that do that. East Forsyth fans, if we're wrong about anything, let us know. I know the video's coming out kind of late, but we appreciate you watching, and good luck Friday night. Hope everybody stays healthy.
Yeah, just to let you know that the Carolina Varsity report says Mallard Creek over East Forsyth 35-30. So it's predicting a kind of a
close game,
kind of a high and a little bit reaching that high scoring game. And from the report, we've got number 2s and number 1s going against each other, and so this should be a really good ball game. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Let us know what you think. Have a great game.